Hey guys, it's Shauna, and today I want to talk about quitting smoking. I am on day one, attempt number 4 of trying to quit smoking, okay? It's the toughest thing I've ever quit or tried to quit. Definitely. So the first time I ever tried, I tried many other times before that weren't successful, but the first time I tried cold turkey. That didn't work. The second time, I did like the Nicorette and the little inhaler thing, and that worked. I had quit for 2.5 years at that point. That was great. It's because I'd gotten sick and I was pregnant and I wanted to quit, and I just had it in my head, so I quit, and that was great. And then I started again because school is stressful and whatever, life is stressful, and I just lost track of the reasons why I had quit, I suppose. Then the second time I quit, it was for I think a couple of months, and then after that I quit again for 3 or 4 months maybe. It's really hard. Like that's a thing, it's easier to start. I think what I'm gonna do this time is make a little book. That way I can remind myself of the reasons why I quit smoking, and if I ever have another urge to start smoking again, I can look at that book and I can remind myself all of the reasons why I quit and why I shouldn't pick up that first cigarette again and start again and be a smoker again. Yeah, I think that like the best people have their vices, and unfortunately mine is a terribly unhealthy one. I remember when I was a kid, I was like the kid who was absolutely against smoking. I always said, like, to my mom and my grandma and everybody else who smoked around me, like, as if you're doing that, it's gross, it's unhealthy, like, why would you be smoking? And then when I became a teenager, I started to smoke. Like, just really funny how it works, because I was the worst, like, the worst. To be around, like, as a smoker now, when I see someone who's like I was, it's like, oh my god, that's just the worst. But I totally understand, because it really is horrible for you, and it really doesn't smell very good. But another thing that I noticed, okay, and I don't know if any other smokers or whatever can relate to this, but for me, okay, I associate the smell of smoke to like my grandmother and my mom and all of my loved ones, like all my boyfriends, like that I've had were smokers, like the ones that matter, like I guess they've all been smokers, and it's just kind of like in my head, it kind of just it's associated to comfort, and it's a really strange thing to say. It's like comfort and familiarity. And I've also noticed that it's associated with like just kind of when I'm alone. I feel less lonely. It's almost like I have a weird like friend. Yeah, smoking is a very strange vice. It almost feels like it's relieving stress, but it really isn't relieving stress, because first of all, nicotine is a stimulant, but it can also be the opposite of stimulants. I can't think of the freaking word right now, and I learned it in school, and that annoys the crap out of me when it happens. It happens all the time. Thank you, ADHD, okay? So anyway, yeah, the thing with smoking is that it you learn to associate it with all these comforting things, and when you're quitting, it's like you need to kind of find a new way to deal with that. And my coach, Cillian, actually suggested black pepper oil, and I have it in a little diffuser, like a personal diffuser thingy mabob, and I was like smelling it because I'm really trying to to quit, and it's helpful. Where is it? Right here. It's this little thing, and you open it up, and then inside there's like a kind of like a wick, but it's not a wick, and you put essential oils in it. Anyway, so inside here I have black pepper essential oil, and I was smelling it, and I'm like, this is such a comforting smell. And I know that they say that it's comforting for smokers, but I was like, there's something more to this. Well, my grandpa, he passed away when I was 2, so obviously I don't really remember him, but I do have one memory of him, okay, and it's a very strong memory. I remember that, like, his party trick, because when I was a kid, I was a weird kid. I loved lemons and all sorts of like really strange things, and I would like make faces at that, like oranges. But anyway, apparently he had passed me, like he used to put some black pepper in the bottom of his hand, and I would lick it out. And I remember this, like I remember like people laughing and thinking that it was so funny that I would do that, and like it was just like such a strange thing, you know. But he'd do that. He'd put black pepper in the bottom of his hand, and I'd lick it out, and everybody would laugh. um so yeah, when I was smelling that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like I can have a new familiar thing to, like, because I'm trying to replace the old, like, negative association of smoking with, like, familiarity and comfort and whatever. And like my grandpa loved me, I know that, and I was super close to him, and like, you know, he was everything to me, is what I'm told, because again, I can't remember, I was too young. So it's super interesting to have realized that just last night, because I was journaling about, you know, what smoking means to me and whatever. Now today I decided to focus on like the negatives of smoking. Like, you know, it really isn't helping with anxiety in any way, because like I said, it is a stimulant. And also because when I'm a smoker, right, if I go places like in school or whatever, then like I'm always like wondering when I can have my next cigarette, or if it's crappy out and I have to go smoke in the like snowstorm or whatever, you know, it's always kind of like in the back of my mind, like, when can I have a cigarette? There's the anxiety, like I'm having anxiety because I don't know when I can have a cigarette, because I'm a smoker, and smoking is like, you know, not cool anymore. And like, you know, yeah, so that's really interesting to think about. Yeah. And I mean, I can't really even say that, because like one of my things that I put on there is like social, you know, you're more social when you're a smoker, but that's not even really true, because now at school, when I go outside and I have a smoke, usually there's not very many people out there, and regardless, I don't tend to go talk to them anyway, so it's not like it's helping my social life. I'm antisocial, like that's just who I am. I'm a lone wolf. I am by myself. I tend to like it that way. It does get lonely sometimes, but I prefer to be on my own. I've always been like that. I don't know if it was like kind of forced at the beginning and then it grew on me. I'm not really sure. But I'm a lonesome creature. I'm not a social creature so much. Like this whole quarantine thing, which, you know, I don't want to laugh about it, but you know, in a way it is kind of funny that everybody's quarantined and this is basically my life. Like this is how I live my life. That's just the way it is. I'm by myself. I prefer it that way. Like obviously I have my kids and my mom lives with me because she's sick. But anyway, so like it's really interesting that that's the way it is. But yeah, talking about quarantine, it's time I get my nails done, but I can't. So anyway, just kind of wanted to share a little bit about that. Like I said, it's only day one, so hopefully I'm successful, because again, with the coronavirus going on, I would like to have my lungs as healthy as I possibly can, and if I can prevent some sort of like, you know, bump in the road, like, you know, if I were to get sick, like I'd like to have my lungs as healthy as I possibly can, so, and keep everybody else healthy, and just, yeah, I do it for my kids, do it for myself, do it for all my loved ones, inspire my mom maybe to quit, like just a million reasons to quit. There's a million reasons, and really there's not that many to keep smoking. So yeah, if anybody is watching this who are also struggling with smoking and wanting to quit, then I guess this is my little first day tip. Maybe write about it, write about what it means to you. Again, this was all a tip from Cillian, who has never even smoked. So, yeah, it works for me. It's been working so far. Thanks for watching. Bye.